All right, folks, let's see how this goes. All right, we're going to test out the camera tonight and see how that goes. I am going to go ahead and get started on playing. Going into Primus stream. And hopefully my sound is coming across clean. To move some things around. Okay, so I did do some work today. I've picked up some aluminum, magnesium. I got some supplies. So we can kind of figure out what we want to do next. I was thinking we probably want to poke around and see where there's a good place to set up a base. What we will need is a space that's not too low, fairly flat as far as we'll need to have some space to expand, and near some good resources. So let's take a poke around. I'm going to go ahead and grab some water. And actually low on food here. So I will wander back toward my other space and see what we can see on the way. Okay, so some of the nice things that we have right along in here is this is a nice open space. A lot of people, as I said, do set up their primary base in this area. Somewhere in this plain beyond these triangle rocks. The current base we have is above where the water line is going to be. It's nice and high, but there's not a lot of flat space around it, and it's kind of a temporary base. I gotta make that jetpack. Down here in this area, this is very low. This is going to get flooded, so we don't want to be caught down here with a base. Oops. And a lot of materials down here, which is good. I've already stocked up on a lot of materials, but it never hurts to have a few extra. Now, the one thing about this space up here, even though it's kind of vertical and uneven, which will make building and expanding a bit of a challenge, the nice thing about this game, it defies physics. All the buildings float. So if you can accept, like this, if you can kind of accept that, then you can make almost any space flat, because you can just literally build off the side of a pile of rocks and float your city above it. I've done that before. Let me jump in here for some oxygen. Let's see what we got in the way of food. Okay, I got a couple of space foods. I should have almost ready squash. Another space food over here. And another squash. So I'll go ahead and take those two. Going to drop the ice off here and drop the silicon. Oops, I didn't drop both my ice. Iron. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and eat the space food and take an extra squash with me. Now, what I was saying about this area, it's not very flat, as you can tell by my very interesting array of drills there. But up here, there is a little bit of a flat space in front of this cave, and then again a little bit over here, over the shoulder of the hill. And I have built a base up here before. It could be quite pretty, kind of sticking out over the valley. You get a pretty good view. Now, one place that we can't go just yet because it's still frozen is down this tunnel. I guess it's partially unfrozen. We've got some osmium in here, so let's grab that. I don't have a lot of use for osmium just yet, but we will. So I'll go ahead and grab a few of those. So this ice has already begun to melt, and as it continues to melt, there'll be more and more of a cave exposed. And if I remember correctly, this cave actually has three exits. So this will melt at 15 micro Kelvin total, 15K. So we do need to get our heat up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and take the sulfur, and yep, this'll melt at 500 nanokelvin. So that's going to take a little longer. And let me just get some oxygen in here. Don't have any chips to uncheck, but I've got some materials. Oh, hey, we got an ore extractor. That's excellent. I'm going to go ahead and take that. I don't think we have much more in the way of materials to collect here. What I probably should do right now is go ahead and make sure we have enough power to set up another food grower and check on those squash. And then we'll do a little bit more exploring. These drills make me laugh every time I see them. It's like 8 drunk guys trying to make it down the street, leaning every which direction. Okay, so I got radioactive things. We do have 3 more of those. I can put the iron here, put the silicon and magnesium here. The osmium, I actually would probably, at this point, put with the other. I'll go ahead and put the sulfur there too, for the time being. So we do have another space food. I'll put that back in consumables. Actually, I've got a pile of space food here that I'll go ahead and put over here in the consumables. Okay. All right, so let me take a look here. We got a couple of things going on. Need some power. We've only got 3.6 kilowatts. We want to set up some T3 heaters, and we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heaters here. That means we have 12. We have 12 iridium that we can convert into 1 bar. That's pretty rough. But we have, I think, like 7 or 8. I think 7 iridium over on the other side, and we've got another 3. So combining those, we can actually get some pretty good heat going. And if we take a peek at our heat right now, we're at 278 picokelvin. So we're going to have to get a lot more heat before we melt that ice. So, all right. So as far as the 98%, 99%, I think they're going to be ready. Basically, you probably could eat them now if they're 99% ready, but the game won't let me do that. All right, we'll take that out in a second. I've got this vegetube that's empty. I think I've got some plant that I can throw in there. Okay, and I do have some supers and a radioactive bit here, and another consumable thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put the supers over here, so I've got them in the right place. Oh, I accidentally made an oxygen tank earlier. That's what you get when you get a little too happy about the. This is radioactive stuff, so I'll put the uranium bar there. Go ahead and drink some water. Okay, these should be done now. Squash and squash. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to grab another water. I'll leave 2 of the squash here for the time being, and I'll sort my stuff. Okay, now let's go take a look at some other options. And while we're on our way over that way, we will probably grab our advanced. Oops, I don't want to do that. I may break my ankles and make that nasty sound. I think I want to go over this way. Yeah. Oh, incoming meteors. Okay. And down all over the place. So, another place I've seen a base built is up on the cliffs above where we have our current base, above that wreck. Again, you have limited horizontal space, but you are close enough to this flat area here that we're running through that you can leverage it. The standing stone maze is kind of an iffy place to try to build, but another area is further north. I'm not going to run quite that far because I'm going to run out of oxygen here. I'm just going to go ahead and grab some materials, make a little hut if I can, before I run out of air. Now I have enough materials to make a door. I don't think I'm gonna get my materials. One more of these. And I need some iron, and I'm running really low. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab this iron and breathe some air. And grab another iron. Another silicon. And I should have one more iron, and I can make a little base. So over here is a nice old wreck. And when it's finally done, when the planet's terraformed, I believe, not sure, but I believe we're going to get some water down here in this valley. Which, you know, it's got some debris in it, but it's kind of an interesting place. Has some interesting visuals and texture. Oops. I don't have my map yet. Okay. Just pressing my map button. Over that way. Yeah, this is going to be filled with water here. So we've got another wreck over here to mess with. I'm going to check what's in here. Oh, good stuff. Now, as I said before, you don't want to open all of your blue boxes. I don't know if I've said it before, actually, but you shouldn't open all of your blue boxes right away. The higher you get in the terraformation process, the more valuable the random items that are in that box that are generated when that box is opened. So the box is going to have some random slots in it. Maybe all of the slots are random, maybe a few of them. But when you open it, they become fixed. And the higher you are on the terraformation track, the better off, or the higher value of those items. Okay, I'm going to breathe the last of this oxygen here. I was talking, not paying attention, but I actually like up here in the north to build off of. It's got some interesting terrain, and it's going to become quite lush at some point, if I remember correct. And I think this might make a really good place to build a base. There are quite a few resources nearby. And of course that wreck that we have back there to exploit. The only downside is it's kind of off in the corner of the map, so it can be hard to get to places before you have a lot of travel capability. Similarly, over here, above the canyon, whoops, careful, it's a canyon. You can fall into it. And then you hit the bottom, you hear this cracking noise because you broke your leg. All right, but over here is another nice place. Similar arguments to what I said before. Travel to and from it can be quite challenging, but it's quite nice. It's quite pretty. I think I've got myself into a bit of a box here. Okay, I can get down here. All right. I like this area myself. But, oh, another blue box. My inventory is mostly full, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. But I'll tell you what, I'll put up my little hut here, which is near the box. Run inside. Go ahead and make a tier 2 craft station. Okay, now I'm carrying less stuff. And I probably need to make some oxygen. And probably need to eat some food too. Go ahead and eat this space food since it's in my inventory. Grab a couple of cobalt. Make a couple of oxygen canisters. And I'm about to drink one of my water, so I will grab some ice. The other thing about the northerly spaces is the ice lasts a little longer, so you don't get caught potentially between when the ice starts to go and you can really build a moisture gatherer, which are actually pretty close together, so it's not much of a worry. But see here. Okay, so now I've got a couple of oxygen, a couple of water. Go ahead and drink that water. Okay, so let's poke around a little bit. So, if I were to compromise, or we were to compromise, because it's going to be our base, I was thinking if we built it up here, it would be quite nice. Okay, so I'm going to head back in the direction that we came, and I'm going to start. We've got one other place to really show you. And we can kind of make a decision. There's another little ice cave with frozen bits. Okay, I'm going to head a little bit more southeasterly. Kind of skirt past that wreck down there. We know that wreck. We've actually seen it from the other side. This is actually the last place I was thinking of building a base. If you kind of start over here, you're kind of in the middle of things. There's some flat space around you. You still have some nice territory, nice contours. I actually probably would come up here and start building a floating base off here. Okay, let's head it on this way. Okay. On the caverns, it's the big cavern down there. To run through it. Just don't break your leg. Pick up some more home building supplies. Don't get caught out here in the middle of nowhere. Alright, let's build a house right here. Oops. Cute. Going in here. Build a T2 crafting station. Grab another one of these cobalts. And make another oxygen canister. Capsule. Alright, so it's stopping raining. Okay. Okay. This cavern is, I think it's going to end up being a river. Pretty low. There's the wreck I was expecting. It's kind of down toward the end of the cavern. Another oxygen place here near the wreck. And then we'll look at heading home. I'll try to go up this slope over here. Now, you can get up almost any slope by just jumping. You can't really walk up it, but if you jump and jump and jump, you will get up there. That should be our home valley over that way. This flat spot here that we see in front of us, that I have built a base there. It's actually kind of fun because it's a little cramped, but you can get up there. I don't think I can get up there without a jetpack right now. Oh, no I can. Okay, good. I made the jump. Oops, hang on. Dying's no fun. I try to avoid it. I'm gonna drink some water, eat some food. I'll leave this here for the time being. There's super alloy up here. I was kind of sandbagging. I knew there was super alloy up here. That's kind of why I jumped over here. Never hurts to have a few. some aluminum too. There's a lot of aluminum up here, but there's a bit. So this space here, you can actually build out with foundations. And, there's our little house down there. Might even recognize this little structure here. We've walked by it a couple of times. And we just swing around here and we're back to the place we started. Okay, so what do we think? I know you're not really going to answer me because really only one of you out there. But if there were more, I would take a poll. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop the aluminum and the supers here. Drop the radioactive stuff here. I've got 5. I've got 9, so I can actually make a iridium bar. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I can make a second tier 3 heater. That's going to require titanium, aluminum, silicon. I've got the silicon already. So I'm going to go ahead and grab an aluminum and a titanium, and I'm going to put it right over here next to this one. Just rotate it a little bit so it kind of fits in space. Low power. That's right. Okay. I only had 3 and I forgot to build. More power. More power. Okay. So for power, I'm going to need aluminum. I'll take 2. I'm going to need 2 silicon, 2 magnesium. I already got 1 silicon, 2 silicon. And then I'm going to need 2 iron and 4 cobalt. I have 1 iron, 2 iron, and 4 cobalt. All right, I'll build 2 power towers here, right here. That one. And that one. Okay, now I should have enough power. 40. This takes 20. We're doing grand. But I'm going to need to replace that silicon. Oh, I only need 1, I think. And that's going to be, that's all I need. Hit it a little bit. Flop it there. Okay, so now our heat is using 68 picokelvin. So we've made it up to 333 nanokelvin. So that's pretty good. I'm going to grab that eggplant and another water. Okay, so we probably should go ahead and put in another tier 3 vegetube, since we're here. 2 silicon, a magnesium, and an aluminum. And water. And a plant. What plants do we have available? We've got 200s, 150s, and 100s. So I've got this guy. He's a 300, so we'll use that. Put another one out here. Oh, actually, what are these? That's a 400. I'll take that. Put that in here. Okay. Another vegetube right here. Oh, a little bit not flat. All right, there we go. Put that there. And we'll put that there. Okay, so we should have a little more oxygen coming in. Yep, a little bit. And the pressure. So I desperately need more drills, so I'm going to go ahead and grab 2. Hang on, what's my power look like? Got 11, and the drill is going to take 10.2. So I can really only put up 1 drill, and I'll put up another power. And I think I can take enough materials for one drill in addition to the power, the solar panel. Let me drop the solar panel real quick and put up a drill. Run inside and grab 2 more iron and 2 more titanium and put up the second drill. Okay, so now we've got a number of drills going. Okay, so I will be tearing down my older drills. They're just not worth as much, but I can use their materials with aluminum to build out some additional space or some additional tier 3 drills. Okay, so I think after all of that, I'm going to go ahead and start our base. I think we're going to start it up here on this ledge. I think I like that idea. But to do that, I'm really going to need to get some my own equipment upgraded and get that jetpack going. But jetpack's a little bit in our future. But let me see here. I need 3 supers and a cobalt to get an upgraded oxygen tank. I've got the cobalt already. I'm going to do that. That takes us to 370. That's almost 4 times the amount of oxygen we had available to us when we started the game. And 3 supers and a titanium. And we're going to get that. Oh, I'm sorry. We already did that. We already did that. See? We already did that. Okay, so now I'm going to need to build rocket engines. Okay. I'm going to need a couple of rocket engines. And put the radioactive stuff over here. Titanium down here. Okay. Okay, we found the beans. Go ahead and stop this. Put the bean in there. The beans actually will restore 60 of your health bar. And so it's a little bit better than the eggplant, which only does 25. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I'm going to put these plants down again. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start laying down a foundation for a base up here. And I'm probably going to make the base a 8x4 in 2 levels, and then that should be a lot of space. We don't have the 3x3 living space yet. We don't even have the 2x2 living space yet. We will get that eventually, and we will start that activity. I just like the look of this area. Anyway, all right. So another thing that I was going to show you this evening is this space over here. So we had the supers up on top of that ridge. There's actually a number of them around there, so we'll be able to take advantage of that. And there's this strange area. So it's a darkling area is what I call them. If you walk into it and the sun goes out, you don't really know why. It's really dark. But there's aluminum on the ground over here. So you can just pick it right up. And there's some chests, and I think there's even a small wreck back in here that we can exploit. And eventually, we'll be able to put miners up. And this is a good area to mine aluminum. And we just received that tier 1 ore extractor. I thought I saw that go by. Yes, here. So we need iridium, but that iridium's actually going to be fairly easy for us to come by in our future sessions, because another factor for this area being really good for building a base is over this way. This will be a nice puddle, I'm sure. Oh, look at that. Look at it. A golden crate. I'm so excited. Oh, an iridium rod in there. Man. And another golden seed. That's exciting. And that's an aluminum and a super. I didn't even know that one was in there. I think they might have added that since the last time I started on this planet. Right in front of us, I'm going to have to get some oxygen anyway. Right in front of us, there's a cave. And in that cave, we will find a lot of iridium. And that's also a very good spot to mine iridium. Oops. So we won't be short of iridium for long once we can set up an ore extractor. Now the tier 1 ore extractors are a little basic. They just dig up stuff, and they dig up random stuff. So you kind of have to pay attention to them. Because they tend to fill up with stuff you don't really need that much of, instead of the material that you're really trying to get. But as the tiers go on, that gets a little bit better. To actually, when we get to tier 3, we'll be able to specify what we're mining. We'll grab a couple of these aluminums since we're here, and iridiums. We'll come back and build a miner or a ore extractor at a different time. Matter of fact, I'm going to start building the base offline, and then when we come back, probably over the weekend, but at the very latest next Tuesday, I will be coming back online. And oops, my inventory is full. Okay. All right. And then we'll start exploiting these resources that are nearby our new base. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and jump off as soon as I get back to my oxygen pod over there. I can see it in the distance. So, I hope this has been a fun little run, just showing you some of the areas around the world of Prime, and some of the wrecks and locations that we'll be able to exploit as we move forward. And yeah, so yeah, I don't know about the 2x. I think it's 2x8, 4x8 is actually what I was saying. I might just go with 4x4 and then do multiple levels. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I'll sort all this out for now. Slongafoil, I appreciate your attentions and your patronage. I will talk to you later. Oh, hang on a second.